Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network for Epic Basketball League action. From the Dave Cave, my name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live with Gold Tier Playoffs. We have reached the final 8 of the Epic Basketball League NBA 1972-73 season. And let's take a look at the playoff tier as we bring that up on the screen and say good evening to all you fine fans throughout the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network universe. This is what the gold tier looks like. It is the final 8, and the first 2 rounds in the gold tier will be best of 5, and then the championship finals best of 7. Tonight we will kick things off with the number 5 seeded Chicago Bulls visiting the number 4 seed New York Knicks. In the 1972-73 NBA season, it was the Knicks who went on to the championship in 72-73. But they're going to have a hard road to hoe. First, they've got to get through Chicago, and then the winner of Milwaukee and Seattle, presumptively Milwaukee with the all-time great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then up at the top, don't forget about the Los Angeles Lakers, that terrible trio of Wilt Chamberlain, Gail Goodrich, and Jerry West. And so it is anybody's ball game here in the gold tier of the playoffs. But tonight, we will be at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, for the game between the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks as they open up a 5-game best-of-5 series here tonight in New York. And let us kick things off with your starting lineups. For the visiting Chicago Bulls, in the backcourt, it is Norm Van Leer and Chet Walker. Van Leer, fourth-year man out of St. Francis of Pennsylvania, number 5 in the league in assists in the 72-73 NBA season. And, of course, Chet Walker, almost 20 points a game, the veteran out of Bradley. Jerry Sloan is your small forward, and he is a darn good defender and just a tough inside presence there, 8th year out of Evansville. At the power forward, it is the rebounding stud, none other than Clifford Ray. Cliff Ray in his second year out of Oklahoma, 11 rebounds a game. And the center for Chicago tonight is Big Bob Love, 6'8", 215 pounds out of Southern University. Number 12 in the NBA in scoring on the 72-73 season at 23.1 points per game. That is your starting lineup for Chicago. And for the homestanding Knickerbockers, your 1972-73 NBA champions are led by the dynamic duo in the backcourt of Walt Frazier and Earl the Pearl Monroe. Walt Frazier was second-team All-NBA in 72-73 with 21.1 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Also, he was a first-team All-Defensive player. Bill Bradley and Dave DeBusschere are very good forwards. DeBusschere, 16 points, 10 rebounds on the season, also an All-Star. Bradley also made the All-Star team in 72-73. And the center is Willis Reed. He was your finals MVP in the 1973 NBA Finals, and those of you who've been around long enough will remember Reed battling leg injuries through that series and limping on and off the court to spur his team on to victory in the championship finals. We'll see if the Knicks can replicate that feat beginning here in Madison Square Garden tonight as we are ready to get things rolling with the opening tip-off. New York gathers the jump ball and will get things started as the Knicks move from left to right on your computer screen. The offense is led by Walt Frazier, and he is going to take the first pass of the game and send it over to Earl Monroe on the wing. Monroe with it on the outside, shoots the long jump shot and nails it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And the Knicks take a 2-0 lead. Chicago now with their first possession of the game. Van Leer runs the offense, calls the play, gets it over to Chet Walker. At the elbow, Walker guarded by Monroe out there. The shot by Walker is good, and he is hit on the arm by Monroe. And it will be Chet Walker headed to the free throw line for an opportunity at a three-point play. The shot by Walker is good, and Chicago is now on top 3-2. New York with the basketball. Once again, looking to Monroe on the wing. This time he fakes, he gets into the lane, drives to the basket. His layup is no good, and Bob Love takes the rebound for Chicago. Bulls coming back the other way. Two-man game out top, Van Leer and Walker passing it back and forth. Walker's going to let one fly from the wing. That is no good, but he is fouled once again. He got the pump fake, got Monroe in the air, and drew the foul. Walker headed back to the free throw line, and just that quickly, Earl Monroe is likely headed to the bench. Walker missed the first free throw, but with that, the horn sounds, and into the game comes Dean Meminger, replacing Earl Monroe, who picks up 2 fouls in the first 40 seconds of action. And already things are looking bad for the Knicks. Walker misses both free throws. The rebound is knocked out of bounds. New York will regain possession, trailing 3-2, but without a key member of their team for the rest of the period due to the foul trouble. Knicks look inside to DeBusschere. DeBusschere working his way into the paint, kicks it out to Bradley. Bradley with a short jump shot from the baseline. That's no good, and Bob Love takes the rebound for the Bulls. The Bulls want to run. They've got Walker and Love on the break. But Frazier and Meminger get back on the defense, and Walker wisely pulls up, and the Bulls will set up the half-court offensive set. Open on the baseline is Bob Love. He's got a nice-looking stroke from 13 feet out, but that's no good. Willis Reed grabs the rebound, but he shuffled the feet. Coming down with it, he traveled, and that is a turnover. The ball will remain here with the Bulls. Bulls leading 3-2 in the early moments of this one. Looking to inbound as they get it down low to Clifford Ray on the low block. Ray with a fadeaway, that's good. And Chicago now has the 5-2 lead. New York once again tries DeBusschere, and this time his shot is swatted out of the air by Bob Love. Clifford Ray takes the rebound for Chicago, and the Bulls have a chance to extend their early lead. The Bulls on offense again find Ray inside. This time DeBusschere blocks him, and the rebound is pulled out of there by Dean Meminger for the Knicks. Knicks now running 3-on-3 the other way. Walt Frazier loves to run the break. He is in the lead. He sends it to DeBusschere on the right. DeBusschere back to Frazier inside, and Frazier loses it out of bounds. That's a turnover, and the ball goes back over to the Bulls. 5-2 in favor of the Bulls here in the opening moments, and they are going to look inside to Bob Love. Love off the low block, steps around Willis Reed. His layup will not go, and Dave DeBusschere takes the rebound for the Knicks. Knicks setting it up, still trying to get something going on the offensive end as they look inside to Willis Reed. Reed and Love battling it out down low. Reed from the post shoots and scores. Give the assist to DeBusschere. It's a 5-4 game. Chicago back on the offense. Chet Walker with it out high. Walker steps around Meminger, gets into the lane, goes to the left hand. It's no good. And Reed takes the rebound for New York. Reed hustling back, beats the defense down to the low block. Can Frazier get the pass to him? Frazier to Meminger, back to Frazier. Inside to Reed. Reed's got Van Leer on his hip. His short jump shot is too strong. Out of bounds. Chicago will take possession. Boy, Reed had an open look down there and just could not get it to fall. Chicago takes possession, leading 5-4. Early in quarter number 1. The offensive set for the Bulls looks inside to Ray. Ray's got it down low, working on DeBusschere once again. His shot is no good, and DeBusschere takes the rebound. Now we've got a whistle and a loose ball foul. That will go against Chet Walker for Chicago, and we'll head the other way. New York to set up the offense, the Knicks. Working it around the perimeter, they get Frazier on the outside. Frazier wants to attack for the first time. Can he get around Van Leer? He's cut off by Ray in the lane. His little teardrop is no good, and Bob Love takes the rebound for Chicago. Once again, the Knicks get back in transition, and Chicago cannot run the kick out. And instead they go to Walker on the perimeter. Walker trailing the play. Steps around Willis Reed on the outside. His short jump shot is off the back iron, no good, rebounded by DeBusschere. Knicks want to push the tempo once again in transition. It's Bradley on the wing. Bradley on the baseline, back to Frazier. And Frazier has it stolen away by Chet Walker. Once again, the Knicks are denied on the fast break, and Chicago regains possession. Bulls this time look to Walker on the perimeter once again. Walker with the jump shot from 18 feet out is good. That is 5 points for Chet Walker. Chicago extends the lead. It's 7-4. 8.5 minutes to play in the first. This time Frazier's going to call his own number. He comes off the screen, gets into the lane, goes to the left hand, lays it up, and good. It's 7-6. Chicago with the lead and the basketball. If they look to Van Leer out on top, he's got Frazier on him. Frazier, a stellar defensive player. What's Van Leer going to do? He swings it over to Sloan, down to Love in the low block. And Love's little jump shot is blocked by Willis Reed. And Meminger comes out with it for the Knicks. Knicks come up big on that defensive possession. And now have a chance to take the lead. The ball is in the hands of Meminger on the outside. He sends it back over to Frazier. Frazier tries to get it over to Bradley. And once again, Walker steps into the passing lane and picks that one off. Chicago basketball. Bulls look inside to Walker. Walker over to Van Leer. Van Leer out top finds Ray in the paint. Turnaround jump shot by Ray is off the glass and good. Nicely done by Clifford Ray. Chicago now up 9-6. New York looks to Bradley for the first time. It's tipped away out of bounds. Good hands by Jerry Sloan. New York will keep possession with only 6 on the shot clock to make something happen. Bradley on the outside. From the baseline, drives to the hoop. There's a whistle, and he is called for the charge. Bradley was in a rush to beat the shot clock, and he extended his left arm to create space against the defender, and the referees blew the whistle on him. 9-6, Chicago with the lead and the basketball. 7 minutes to play first quarter. Once again, they look down low to Clifford Ray. He shoots and scores again. DeBusschere's a good athlete and a good interior defender, but Ray has the size advantage there, and the Bulls are exploiting that. Ray leads all scorers now with 6, and the lead for Chicago is 5, 11-6. New York back to the offensive set. They're off to a slow start here, only 3 of 8 from the field to open things up. They've got an open look for Bradley on the baseline, and his jump shot is short. Good defense by Sloan, but Meminger gets in for another rebound, passes it back out on top to Frazier, and the Knicks will reset. Knicks go back into that motion offense, and now they're going to look inside to DeBusschere. DeBusschere from in close shoots and scores. Nicely executed on the reset by New York, and it is now an 11-8 ball game. Chicago with the lead and the basketball. 6.5 to play first quarter. Inside they look once again to Clifford Ray, very active in the early going here. His shot from the paint is good. And Clifford Ray is lighting it up. Chicago on top 13-8. Knicks get it back to DeBusschere. Back out on top to Frazier. Frazier tries to get it to Bradley. It's tipped away and out of bounds. Last touched by Bradley. That's another turnover. Knicks already with 6 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of play. That is not good. And Chicago has capitalized, jumping out to a 5-point lead and looking to extend the lead here as we've reached the midway point of the first period. Van Leer along the sideline finds Walker. Walker attacks the rim. His layup rolls off the rim, no good. And DeBusschere comes out with it for New York. Knicks now have it 3-on-2 going the other way. They've yet to succeed in the transition game, but they're going to keep trying as Bradley has it on the baseline, cross-courts it to Frazier. Frazier drives the lane, lays it up and good. Well executed that time. Frazier with 4 points. It's a 13-10 lead for the Bulls. Norm Van Leer a little bit hobbled, but he wants to stay in the ball game here. As he runs the offense, 5.5 minutes to play. Van Leer has it on the outside. 13 on the shot clock. Van Leer is looking for an open man. He finds Walker on the wing. Walker pounding the ball outside. The deep jump shot is good. 15-10 now in favor of Chicago. Knicks still trying to keep pace. They find Bradley on the baseline. Guarded tightly there by Sloan. Steps around Sloan. The shot is no good. And Clifford Ray with another rebound for Chicago. Bulls now setting it up again. They've got Sloan with it on the outside. Not an offensive threat. Instead, he kicks it out to Van Leer. Van Leer over to Walker from the free throw line. His shot is up no good. Sloan collects the rebound for Chicago, and the Bulls will reset. Van Leer directing traffic. Finds Love on the baseline. Love with the outside jump shot. That's off the front rim, no good. And Bill Bradley takes the rebound for New York. They'll walk it back the other way. New York still trails by 5, 15-10. As once again they find Bradley on the wing. Bradley in trouble. He is forced to call timeout, and New York will have 18 seconds to figure out what to do with this possession. Bradley to inbound. They get it down low to Willis Reed. Reed on the inside has it knocked away and stolen by Bob Love. The Chicago defense again comes up strong. Yeah, Chicago is known for their defense, both on the basketball court and the gridiron. Van Leer on the outside with a mismatch, comes off the screen, gets into the lane. His acrobatic reverse layup won't go down, and Willis Reed takes the rebound for New York. Quick outlet to Frazier. Frazier with it out high. Takes it himself, coast to coast, lays it up, and good. Walt Frazier looking speedy on that play. Has pulled the Knicks to within 3. 15-12 is your score. 4 minutes to go first quarter. Bulls with the lead and the basketball. With it on the outside is Van Leer. Van Leer sends it over to Walker on the wing, and Walker is fouled by Memminger. First personal on Memminger, third on the team. A couple of substitutions. Henry Bibby into the game for New York. And Jerry Lucas into the ball game, the former Buckeye for the, that is Jerry Lucas, the 10th-year man out of Ohio State, into the game for New York, replacing Willis Reed. So Mike Bibby and Jerry Lucas into the game for the Knicks, and Garfield Hurd into the game for Chicago. 4 minutes to play in the first period. Chicago on top 15-12 with the basketball. Sloan to inbound. The pass from Sloan comes into Love on the baseline. Love on the baseline could be in trouble. He calls timeout, and Chicago will have 11 seconds to draw up a play here under the leadership of head coach Dick Motta. Motta and Red Holtzman, two fine coaches, squaring off here in this championship tier series. Chicago with the early lead here in game one of this best of five. They run a play inside for Bob Love. Can they get it down to him? He comes off the screen. He's got an open look down low, but Bibby picked his pocket. Bibby got him on the way up, stripped the ball before Love could get the shot off, and Frazier comes out with it for New York. New York looking to cut further into the lead. As they get it inside to DeBusschere, his short shot is good. He's got 4 points, and the lead is cut to 1. 15-14. Chicago with the lead and the basketball, under 3.5 to play, first period. Van Leer has it out on top. He comes off a screen. He's got room to put one up from 15, and he nails it. 17-14 now Chicago. New York needs a field goal to get back into this one. It's Frazier on the outside, and he travels with it. Another turnover for New York. That is 8 here in the first quarter. The Bulls have yet to turn the ball over. As Bob Weiss into the game now for the Bulls. Chet Walker will go to the bench for a rest. Bulls with the basketball and a 3-point lead. Looking for Love down low. He kicks it out to Weiss on the outside. Weiss steps around Bibby, gets into the lane. His layup is no good, and Bibby comes out of there with the rebound for New York. New York coming back the other way, finds DeBusschere down low, defended by Hurd. Gets it across to Lucas. Lucas tries to kick it back out to the point, and it's stolen by Van Leer. Boy, that is 9 turnovers and 4 steals. Chicago with a plus 13 in the turnovers and steals margin, as New York has neither a steal nor have they forced a turnover. And if Chicago could shoot any better than 36% from the field, this game would be a blowout by now. But the Bulls continue to struggle from the field. New York struggles taking care of the basketball. And we've got a tight one here in the first quarter in Madison Square Garden. As Chicago sets up the offense with Van Leer at the point. He's got Frazier on him. Van Leer dumps it down low to Bob Love, and Love has it stolen by Lucas. Finally, the Knick defense comes up and creates a turnover, and New York has the basketball. 2.5 to play in the first. They get it to DeBusschere again down low, and again DeBusschere lays it up and good. DeBusschere, great shoulders, great inside presence down low. DeBusschere only 6'6", but just really knows how to operate in the paint. And he now has 6 points to lead New York and 4 rebounds. So DeBusschere's really carrying the load for the Knicks here as they struggle through quarter number 1. Chicago leading by 1 with the basketball. 2 minutes to play in the first. And it goes to Bob Weiss on the outside. The long jump shot by Weiss is offline. Garfield Hurd grabs the offensive rebound for Chicago. Hurd on the putback attempt is off the glass, no good. And this time it is Bob Love with the offensive board. Love comes up strong with the putback attempt, but he's got it stripped away and stolen by Lucas. Nicely done by the Buckeye. Quick outlet to Walt Frazier. And now the Knicks have it 4-on-1 going the other way. Frazier dribbling down the court, finds Lucas on the left. Lucas drops it to Bibby. Bibby drives baseline, lays it up and good. And he is fouled on the play by Weiss. So Henry Bibby into the game and at the line has given New York the lead and a chance for the 3-point play here. Henry Bibby, of course, the father of Mike Bibby, who had a nice NBA career. Henry Bibby also went on to coach the UCLA basketball Bruins. As Henry steps to the free throw line and rolls it home. 3 points for Henry Bibby, and New York is on top by 2, 19-17. Under 2 to play in the first, in this titanic struggle between two defensive juggernauts. Dennis Autry feeds a pass down low to Hurd. Hurd goes for the layup, and it's blocked by Jerry Lucas. Chet Walker rebounds for Chicago. And Walker's going to kick it back out to reset the offense. Only 4 on the shot clock. Hurd now has it. Guarded by DeBusschere. Hurd's going to try and put it up strong. He double pumps. He spins. He shoots. He misses. And the rebound is taken by Bill Bradley for the Knicks. Nice defensive stand there by the Knickerbockers. And with a minute and a half to play in the first period, New York now has the basketball and a 2-point lead, 19-17. Frazier over to Bradley. And Bradley's got his pocket picked by Chet Walker. Now it's 4-on-3 going the other way. Weiss dribbling down the center of the floor. Gets it over to Walker on the left side. Walker cross court to King now into the game. King back to Walker, and Walker knocks it out of bounds. That's a turnover. So we'll reset the lineups here for Chicago. Van Leer is now back in the game at the point. He's joined in the backcourt by Jim King, 10th-year man out of Tulsa. Chet Walker back in the game at the small forward position with Garfield Hurd and Bob Love. For the Knicks, we've got Bibby now running the point with Meminger. Phil Jackson into the game, seeing his first action at the small forward position with Lucas at the power forward and making his first appearance in the game, the rookie John Giannelli at the center position. As Jim Connell is in the ball game. Those early 70s Bulls teams were my favorites. Tough defense, and they've got a tough one here in Madison Square Garden. We've played nearly 11 minutes of basketball, and it's only a 19-17 ball game. New York with the lead and the basketball. As we welcome Jim Connell to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. New York sets the offense. Henry Bibby now at the helm. He gets it on the outside to Phil Jackson. Jackson with 13 on the shot clock has got Chet Walker on him. Tough matchup. Jackson with a short rainbow shot. That is off the rim, no good. And Bob Love grabs the rebound for Chicago. And Jim King is now battling the dreaded groin injury, but he'll remain into the game. He is a tough dude. Chicago with the basketball. 50 seconds to go on the first quarter game clock. 18 on the shot clock. The ball is in the hands of Jim King on the outside. King with the long jump shot is off the back iron, no good. Phil Jackson takes the rebound for New York. He's got it knocked away, and it is last touched by Jackson out of bounds. The ball will remain with Chicago. 47 seconds to go in the first period. And Chicago looking to tie the game here with this possession. Bulls run the motion offense. Van Leer has it outside. He's picked up by Henry Bibby. Van Leer looks to distribute. Finds Jerry Sloan on the inside. 6 on the shot clock. Sloan is going to have to take it up strong. He's got Phil Jackson on him. His shot is no good. And Jackson takes the rebound. Battle of two Hall of Fame coaches in that little matchup. Now it's 2-on-2 going the other way. Bibby and Bradley. And Bibby is going to pull it back and reset the offense. Bibby with it on the outside, picked up by Van Leer. Dumps it inside to Phil Jackson on the low block. His short jump shot is good, and New York extends the lead to 21-17. 4-point lead for the Knicks. 19 seconds to go on the game clock here in quarter number 1. The shot clock has been turned off, and the Bulls will hold for the final shot of the period. Van Leer to Ray. Ray gets it to King. King tries to get it into Sloan, but it is picked off by Jackson, and that will be the end of the quarter. And it was a struggle. 21-17 is your score here at the end of the first. As we take a look at our first quarter box score. Box score, oh box score, my kingdom for a box score. Oh, now we're hung up in this little sort of time warp sequence that the game does. We may need to restart the game here momentarily. Well, it wants to show us a box score. At least we can see the line score, 21-17. Excuse me. Please stand by as the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network is encountering technical difficulties. All right, let us restart and see if we can't pick up where we left off here. Basketball 2021. All right, as we were waiting, for those of you who missed it, we had a wonderful NBA Midwest Basketball League All-Star game last Saturday night, won by the Eastern Conference, led by Joel Embiid, who had a huge first quarter, and Jason Tatum, who just lit it up all night. Now let's see if we can resume saved game. It is 4:29:22. Something about generating the box score threw us off that time. But hopefully we can pick up where we left off with quarter number 2, with the Knicks on top 21-17 over the Chicago Bulls. Okay, now it's going to take us back to the 19-second mark, and it's going to give Chicago another opportunity to hit the final shot of the period. As we wait with unbearable suspense. Van Leer. Clean pick and roll with Love. Gets it to Love inside. The short jump shot by Love is no good. And that is the end of the first quarter. And now let's head straight into quarter number 2. And perhaps we can grab a box score at the next break in the action. Love and Reed will jump it up, and the opening tip is controlled by Chicago. They trail by 4, 21-17. Van Leer is back at the point guard with King in the backcourt. And the remaining starters back into the game, Sloan, Clifford Ray, and Bob Love. Only Chet Walker is on the bench for Chicago. And for New York, it is Frazier and Monroe back in the backcourt. Monroe returning to action after the 2 early fouls. Phil Jackson at the small forward replacing Bradley with DeBusschere and Reed down low. Chicago has the basketball. They trail by 4 as they have gained the opening tip-off. The ball is on the outside in the hands of Love. He's got it knocked away by DeBusschere and out of bounds. Last touched by Love. That's another turnover. And New York's defense is starting to get stingy here. 21-17, Knicks with the lead and the basketball. They call the play inside for Reed. Frazier brings it up, sends it to Monroe. Finally, they dump it down to Reed on the low block, and he kicks it out to Jackson. They've got a little triangle game going here. Good ball movement for the Knicks. Finally, they get it inside to Reed, defended by Van Leer, but Van Leer has the ability to knock it away. Last touched by Reed, and that's another turnover. Okay, crazy little chalkboard sequence there for a simple entry pass. Chicago with the basketball now. They trail by 4. Open on the inside is Bob Love. He's got a tall order to deal with in Willis Reed down there, but Love is able to turn to his left, shoot, and score. It's a 2-point game, 21-19, New York with the lead and the basketball. Once again, they're going to try and dump it down into the post to Willis Reed. He gets the entry pass from Jackson. Little 2-man game with Monroe on the outside. Monroe finds Reed down low. His 9-foot jump shot is good. Bulls wanted a traveling call on that possession, but the refs were not sensitive to their complaints. Chicago now with the ball again. They still trail by 4. And the pass goes to Van Leer out on top. Van Leer sends it into Ray on the inside, and Ray once again scores it. He's got double digits. Clifford Ray, not known as a scorer to speak of. In fact, one of the few men in NBA history with a long career where he accumulated more rebounds than he did points. But on this occasion, he has got 10 points and 2 rebounds, and he has pulled the Bulls back to within 2. 23-21, Knicks with the lead as Frazier sets up the offense. He calls his own number this time and buries one from 15 feet. Frazier now with 8 points to lead the Knicks. They go back on top by 4. Bulls set up the offense. They've got it outside with Sloan. Sloan not really an offensive threat. He kicks it cross court to Jim King. Jim King with a jump shot. That's off the front rim, no good. And Frazier takes the rebound for the Knicks. Knicks come back the other way. Monroe on the wing. Entry pass down low to Reed. Reed tries to kick it back out to the point. Terrible pass. Another turnover for the Knicks. Chicago regains possession. Bulls still trail by 4. Bulls set it up and they send it to Van Leer out on top. 15 on the shot clock. Van Leer looking to distribute, directing traffic, finds Love. Love on the low block. A 10-footer is up and good. 6 points now for the Butterbean. And it is once again a 2-point game. Frazier with it on the outside, picked up by Van Leer. Finds Jackson on the perimeter. Over to Monroe. Monroe open for the jump shot from the top of the key, and he drills it. 4 points now for Earl Monroe, and the New York lead is back up to 4. Chicago basketball. Teams trading baskets here to open up quarter number 2. They've got an open look for Jim King on the outside. He passes up the shot, tries to find Love on the baseline. That ball goes behind him and out of bounds. Unfortunately, Jim King could not find Love. New York with the basketball. Oh, Bob Love jokes. They never get old. New York looking inside. Avoiding Love. Instead, they go to DeBusschere. DeBusschere into Jackson, and Jackson is fouled on the play by Sloan. That is the first on Sloan and the first team foul of the quarter. New York will reset with a side out. Jackson to inbound. The pass comes into Reed down low. Reed down low working against Love. His jump shot from in close is good. Give the assist to DeBusschere. And New York now has their biggest lead of the night, 29-23, under 9 to play in the second period. Van Leer sets up the offense. They look on the baseline to Bob Love. He steps around Reed, gets into the lane. His layup is off the back of the rim, no good. And Reed takes the rebound for New York. It's 2-on-2 going the other way. Frazier loves to run, and he's got Monroe on the wing. Frazier to Monroe on the left. Back to Frazier for the layup. Frazier goes to the left hand, lays it up, and good. And Walt Frazier now with double digits for the Knicks. 10 points for Frazier, and the lead is up to 8, 31-23. New York on a run here early in the second. Chicago trying to stem the tide. King on the outside, Van Leer. Down low to Bob Love. Pump fakes, shoots, and scores, and he's fouled hard by Reed. Reed has something to say about that, but the referee is insensitive to his emotional outburst, and Love will go to the free throw line with an attempt at a three-point play. Good free throw shooter for a big man, 82%. He knocks home the free throw. And that completes the three-point play. Cuts the New York lead to 5. 31-26. Knicks with the lead as Frazier sets up the offense. Takes it into the front court. Passes to Monroe. Back over to Frazier on the perimeter. Little two-man game. Finally, Frazier finds Reed open on the inside. His shot from the paint is no good. Frazier tips it around and grabs the offensive rebound, and Frazier is going to pull it back out and reset the offense. Under 8 minutes to play now in the second period. New York still on top by 5. Frazier dishes to Monroe. Monroe on the perimeter, dumps it down low to Reed, and the baseline jump shot from Reed is good. He's got 8 points, and the lead is back up to 7. 33-26. Bulls back on the offense. Van Leer once again finds Love on the baseline, and this time Love's stroke is true. And he has got 11 points now to lead the Bulls. 33-28, Bulls back within 5. 7.5 to play in the first half. Frazier on the outside, picked up by Van Leer. Frazier wants to attack. Pounding the ball on the perimeter. Drives to the basket. Cut off by Ray. His pull-up jump shot is no good, and Bob Love takes the rebound for Chicago. Quick outlet to Van Leer. Van Leer wants to run. It's 2-on-2. Van Leer dribbles to his right. Van Leer takes it into the lane. Dumps it ahead to King, and King is fouled by Frazier on the reach-in. Second team foul of the period against the Knicks. Chicago will have it side out with 7:16 to play. Clifford Ray to inbound. The inbounds pass goes to Van Leer out on top. He comes off a screen. Dumps the ball inside to Bob Love. Love takes it up strong, no good. But he is fouled on the play by Willis Reed, and that will send Bob Love to the free throw line. Actually, looks like this is going to be a side out. They called that before the shot. The shot is waved off. And now Love is not happy about that. He wants to go to the free throw line, and the referees aren't having it. Emotions running high on both sides tonight, as this is going to be a very tightly contested series. 7 minutes to play, second quarter. Chicago with the basketball. They're running a 1-4 set. They get it inside to Ray. And this time Ray has his shot blocked by DeBusschere. Bradley comes out with a rebound for New York. Knicks get another possession. DeBusschere beats everybody back down the floor. Takes the entry pass from Frazier. Lays it up off the window and good. Dave DeBusschere with 8 points now. And the New York lead has swelled back up to 7. 35-28. 6.5 minutes to play in the second period. As we say hello to D. Scott Howard, just home from Western Washington University softball on a sometimes warm afternoon. Hello to you, my good friend D. Scott Howard, and welcome to the Gold Tier Playoffs. Best out of 5 series. It's the opening game in this matchup between the 5th-seeded Chicago Bulls and the 4th-seeded New York Knickerbockers. New York has opened up a 7-point lead, 35-28, on the strength of a spurt early in the second period, after Chicago held the lead of about 4 to 6 points most of the first. Chicago now trails by 7. They have the basketball with 6.5 to play before halftime. And the ball down low is in the hands of Sloan. Sloan working on Bradley in the paint. Sloan not much of an offensive threat, but he gets the shot off and he gets it to go. Nicely set up there by Norm Van Leer. The lead is cut to 5. New York basketball, Frazier bringing it up. Frazier over to Bradley on the wing. Running a little triangle out on top. Frazier finds DeBusschere in the key. DeBusschere goes up with the left hand but cannot get the layup to go, and Chet Walker takes the rebound for Chicago. Now it is 3-on-3 going the other way, and Van Leer is going to slow things down. Midway point of the second period, Chicago trails by 5. They've gotten good production out of Clifford Ray so far in this game. Ray with another open look, and he scores again from the inside on the jump hook. Clifford Ray with 12 points to lead all scorers in an uncharacteristic outburst. Chicago within 3. New York sets it up. They get an interior screen for DeBusschere down low. He gets the pass on the low block and has it knocked away and stolen by Sloan. Now it's 3-on-2 going the other way. Van Leer with Sloan and Walker on the wings. Walker has it at the free throw line. Walker gets into the lane, lays it up off the glass and through the net. That is good. And just like that, Chicago has pulled to within 1. Nice little comeback here by the Bulls. And New York now needs to slow down the pace and stem the tide of this run. They look inside to their big man, Willis Reed on the low block, exchanging words with Chet Walker. Reed turns, shoots, misses. DeBusschere grabs the rebound, but he is called for the loose ball foul on that rebound. And that will send us the other way, as the Bulls now have a chance to regain the lead. 35-34 is the score. 5.5 minutes to play in the second period. Van Leer with it out on top. Finds Walker on the wing. Walker with the jump shot from the outside. That's offline. And the rebound is taken by Walt Frazier for the Knicks. And now it is a breakout for the Knicks going the other way. It's 4-on-1. Frazier to DeBusschere. The chalkboard is going wild. DeBusschere has it in the paint. Finds Bradley the trailer, and Bradley is grabbed by Walker. That is a foul on the floor, the second team foul on the Bulls. And New York will have to start things over with an out-of-bounds play. 5:10 to go in the second period. Bradley can't find an open man. They send it back out on top to Frazier. Frazier working on Van Leer. 9 on the shot clock. It goes to Monroe down low. Monroe is got Chet Walker all over him. Nasty looking offensive set here for the Knicks. They get it to Bradley. It's knocked away from Bradley and out of play. New York will have the basketball with only 2 left to go on the shot clock. As Zalapsky Smurf comes into the game, let's go Raptors. Bradley to inbound for New York. We'll see what the CPU can draw up here. They get it to Frazier on the outside, and Frazier has it stripped away and stolen by Norm Van Leer. Chicago with a chance now to take the lead. 4:43 to play in the second period. Van Leer has it on the outside. Van Leer shoots the jump shot and scores it. Boy, he got that one off with Walt Frazier in his face, and just like that, Chicago is back on top. 36-35, the Bulls with the lead. Can New York answer the run? Frazier walks the ball up for New York. Chest pass to Monroe. Monroe on the outside, dumps it to Reed on the low block. His fall-away jump shot is up and good, and New York is back on top. Back and forth we go here, the lead changing hands. Knicks on top 37-36 with 4.5 to play in the first half. Inside they go to Bob Love down low. He double dribbled. Reed stood his ground and forced the turnover, and the ball goes back over to the Knicks. Bill Bradley's had a quiet night. Frazier looks for him on the perimeter. He's guarded closely by Sloan. They get it to DeBusschere on the baseline, and DeBusschere puts up a 15-footer and gets the roll. How about that? Dave DeBusschere scores again. He's got 10 points, and New York is back on top by 3. 10 for DeBusschere, 10 for Reed, 10 for Frazier. The 3 big men for New York are coming up strong. And Earl Monroe with 6 assists. How about that? Chicago with the basketball now, trailing once again by 3. 4 minutes to go before halftime. The bounce pass goes into Garfield Hurd in the paint. His little jump shot from in close is no good. And the long rebound is taken away by Monroe. And on the rebound, we've got a loose ball foul whistled against Chicago. Charge that one to Jerry Sloan. That is his second. Bradley is the open man for New York. He takes the pass from Frazier. His rainbow jump shot from 16 feet out is good. And if they get Bradley going here, New York's going to be firing on all cylinders. They're now on top by 5 with 3.5 to play in quarter number 2. Chicago once again looks for Hurd. Sloan has it on the outside. He finds Hurd in the paint. Hurd lays it up off the glass. It's no good, but he's fouled on the play by Jerry Lucas, and that will earn Garfield Hurd a trip to the free throw line. Garfield Hurd, a below-average free throw shooter, only 65%. His first shot does roll home for his first point of the night. Dean Memminger returns for New York. Hurd left the second free throw short, and Lucas took the rebound. New York with the basketball now leading by 4. 3:18 to play in the second period. Lucas has it down low, working on Love. Can't find his shot. Sends it to Bradley on the wing. Bradley cuts over to the baseline. His shot is no good, but we've got a loose ball foul on the rebound, and that one also goes against Jerry Sloan. So Sloan picks up 2 quickies. And that, I believe, is going to be his third. And let's see what's going to happen here. It's going to be a side out for New York. And Sloan actually remains in the game with the 3 fouls. I expected a replacement to come into the game. That didn't happen, as Dick Motta is going to leave Sloan out there. Now we've got a pass inside to DeBusschere on the low block. His turnaround jump shot is good, and he has put New York up by 6. 12 points now for Dave DeBusschere. It is a 43-37 lead for the Knicks, under 3 minutes to play in the half. Chicago gets it down low to Bob Love. His short jump shot over Lucas comes up too strong. And now we have got another loose ball foul. And that one is charged against Bob Love for Chicago. Fifth team foul on the Bulls. The Knicks will have the basketball now, leading by 6. As Jim Connell says, Dean the Dream Meminger. Didn't he go to Marquette? Indeed he did. You are correct, sir. It is New York with the basketball. They lead by 6. 2:41 to play. As New York sets up the offense. They find Phil Jackson on the baseline. Jackson with a jump shot. He nails that one, and he's fouled by Dennis Autry. So it is Phil Jackson now with a chance at a three-point play. And this could give the Knicks their biggest lead of the night. Jackson dribbles, sets himself. His shot is offline, no good. But with the Knicks in the bonus, he'll get another crack at it. Jackson missed both his attempts, and Gar Hurd takes the rebound for Chicago. New York with an 8-point lead, 45-37. As Bob Weiss now runs the offense for the Bulls. And now we've got a whistle far away from the action, and a double foul has been called. As Garfield Hurd gets tied up with Phil Jackson, and they are both whistled for personal fouls. I don't know if I like Phil Jackson's odds in that situation, as Garfield Hurd, a rugged inside player, but Jackson's not going to back down, and they are both called for the double foul. Chicago will retain possession. As the pass goes to Hurd on the inside, Hurd with a pump fake, Hurd with a shot off the window and off the mark. But Hurd gets his own rebound. Hurd on the putback attempt goes up strong with the right hand. That one is no good. And finally, Dean Meminger, Dean the Dream, pulls it down for New York. Dean the Dream Meminger out of Marquette University. New York now with the basketball. They lead by 8, under 2 minutes to play in the half. Frazier passes to Lucas. Lucas finds Phil Jackson open on the baseline, and Jackson with another 8-footer is good. And New York now has a double-digit lead, 47-37. And the Bulls have once again found themselves falling behind. Weiss passes it down low to Autry for the Bulls. Autry finds Hurd in the paint. He pump fakes, he shoots, he scores. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Garfield Hurd. Scored 16 points in the final game of the series against Houston. Actually, that probably would have been the final. Yeah, that would have been the final game of the regular season where Hurd put up 16. But he has brought the Bulls back to within 8. 47-39, under a minute and a half to go before halftime. New York finds Lucas on the inside. Guarded by the long arms of Dennis Autry. Lucas going to work in the tall trees. He shoots the short jump shot. He scores, and he draws the foul on Autry. Good play by Jerry Lucas. Puts New York back on top by 10. Lucas with a chance to extend the lead here if he can complete the three-point play. Lucas hits the free throw. He's got 3 points. And it is a 50-39 lead for New York as the Knicks have got it going here in period number 2. They have taken better care of the basketball, and they're now shooting 65% from the field. A fine second quarter basketball for the New York Knicks has given them a comfortable double-digit lead with 1:10 to go in the second period. Chicago on the basketball, getting chippy out there. Van Leer over to Weiss, inside to Love. Searching for the open man, he finds Clifford Ray on the inside. He double pumps. He rises up and shoots. It goes in, and he's fouled hard by Bradley. So Clifford Ray now with the opportunity for a three-point play as we've entered the final minute of play before halftime. And Ray now once again leads all scorers. He's got 14 points. Clifford Ray, not a scorer in his career, but he is having a career night tonight, and he nails the free throw. He's got 15 now, and the lead is cut to 8. 50-42, New York with the lead and the basketball. 54 seconds to play in the second period. New York ahead by 8. DeBusschere on the inside. Posts up Ray, pump fakes, and Ray got up and blocked it. Ray didn't buy the pump fake. The offensive rebound is knocked around and picked up by Memminger. Memminger is surrounded by tall guys, and he is forced to kick it back out. 7 on the shot clock. As Memminger shovels it inside to DeBusschere. DeBusschere can't convert. Tip by Reed is no good, and Clifford Ray takes the rebound for Chicago. 32 seconds to play in the half. Chicago gets it to Love on the baseline. He drives around Reed. His layup is no good. Love leaps high for the offensive rebound. Love with a putback attempt. Can't get a shot off. He gets it over to Van Leer on the perimeter. Van Leer sends it over to Weiss. Weiss can't hit the jump shot, and DeBusschere makes his way out with the ball. And New York will walk it back the other way with 18 seconds to go. They'll hold for the final shot of the half. So wild sequence down there on the Chicago end. They had multiple shots at it. Could not get it to go, and finally DeBusschere comes out with a strong rebound for the Knicks. And now the Knicks set up for the final shot of the period. It'll come from Monroe on the outside. That's no good. DeBusschere takes the rebound. Does he have time for a putback? His shot from in the paint at the buzzer is off the rim, no good, and that will be the end of the first half. So your first half score is New York 50 and Chicago 42. The leading scorer for the Knicks is Dave DeBusschere with 12. We've got Frazier with 10 and Reed with 10. And on the Chicago side of the ledger, Clifford Ray leads all scorers with 15. Also a very strong half for Bob Love, 11 points, 8 rebounds. The game statistics show New York with a substantial lead in field goal percentage, 57-38. And that is the difference as the Knicks got the offense going here in period number 2. Not a lot of fouls against either team. New York with a big rebounding edge, 28-17 on the strength of DeBusschere, Reed, and 5 rebounds for Dean Memminger, surprisingly, for New York. New York turned the ball over a lot early, settled down some in the second period, but they still have 15 turnovers to only 6 for Chicago. And with that, let us return to action. I'm afraid to try for a box score since we have so much going on with the crashes. But I did turn off another browser tab. Yeah, what the heck? You only live once. And we'll just chit-chat with the rest of the crowd if the game crashes up on us again trying to find a box score. And the suspense is killing me. Will we get a box score? No, we will not. We'll go. We do have a line score. New York put up 29 points in that second period. Way better than the first period. And now we're going into our perpetual time loop. And probably going to have to restart the game once again. New York won each quarter by 4 points. And yeah, we're just not going to do any more box scores here tonight. We'll see if the game can recover. I'm guessing not. So yeah, Jim Connell is correct. Good observation. That was the way both teams played during that time period. And a lot of teams during the 70s. Strong defense and a lot of physical play on both ends of the court. And we will restart the action here and see if we can get a better outcome and no more box scores tonight. Turnovers are keeping the Bulls in this game, says D. Scott Howard. Yeah, that was particularly true in the first quarter. But the Bulls and their defense forced a lot of turnovers and also picked up a lot of steals. And at least according to this game's accounting system, those are tallied separately. All right, so playoffs, or no, resume saved game. And we go back to the 29th of April and restart half number 2 of the Bulls versus Knicks. This will be a very competitive series. And it's going to take us back to the last 2 seconds of play of the first half. As the game once again struggles to find itself. Knicks turn it over, and that's the end of the half. And now we'll see if we can get things going in quarter number 3. Looks like we have got the starters headed back onto the floor for Chicago. Wow, guys, thanks for hanging with me. This is a struggle here from a software perspective tonight, as the game is not being very well behaved. I might have to go out and look for a patch or something on the website. Which is kind of a shame because I really enjoy this this interface and this layup. I play an awful lot of Stratomatic basketball in the league that I run, so it's nice to have a little change of pace, something different to do outside of my league activities. Indeed, Van Leer and Sloan were 2 of the top defensive guards of that period, and let's not forget to put Walt Frazier in that mix as well, although Frazier was more of a finesse guy and picked up a lot of steals. Problem with the Bulls was just not enough offensive depth. Yeah, and only 38% shooting is going to be a tough night to try and keep in the game, as we are still bouncing around. From window to window, as the software struggles to find itself. All right, once again, guys, I appreciate your hanging with me through the technical difficulties. I think what I'm going to do now is try for a reboot. So that will kick me off of the YouTube broadcast for a few moments. But hopefully within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we can get things back in action for half number 2. Here between the Knicks and the Bulls. Jim Connell votes that we just concede the game and the series to the Bulls. Yeah, this is happening in Madison Square Garden, and so there may be a power outage or New York fans throwing things onto the court. They must have thought they were Yankees fans. They're throwing beer at the opposing players. And that is slowing the game down here as those scalawag New Yorkers just don't know how to conduct themselves in the general public. All right, guys, I'm going to reboot here. Be back in 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll see